I'm Dale Lutz. I'm a registered practical nurse, and with your permission, I would like to conduct a 15-minute interview.
Well, that'll be fine. I agree to it.
Okay, and what would you like to prefer to be called?
Oh, my name is Jessie Perry.
Jessie Perry?
So you can just call me Jessie.
Okay, nice to meet you, Jessie. And you're
And nice to meet you, Dale. And this is Anita.
Anita Perry?
Anita Perry. This is I look after her. She's I'm her mother
Mm-hmm.
and also her advocate.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So she has. Well, you can see she needs a lot of care. And so.
So you must have a lot of strength that you said you're an advocate. So that means you're taking a really active role in getting her needs met.
Well, I take a role, and I am an advocate because she can't communicate, so she needs someone to look after her needs. And I'm both a mother, advocate, and sometimes nurse.
Mother,
Whatever.
advocate, nurse, caregiver, all of
Caregiver,
it.
everything you can think of, I'm there for her.
That's inspiring.
Well,
Hi, Anita. It's nice to meet you. How are you?
Anita
We're
has,
going to talk about you and see how we can help you.
Anita has gone through a lot.
She's gone
Anita,
through a lot.
Yeah, she has. I mean, you look at her now, and you would never think that she walked and talked and swam and did everything, went to school, participated in all social activities, traveled, and now she's in this state. It's hard to take.
Hard to take.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Hard for you and hard for
Hard
her.
for her. Probably more difficult for her because she can't get up and walk and her mobility is gone. Hopefully, I always have the hope that some things will happen to her, that she will walk, and she will talk. You never give up in life.
Yeah.
I'm a pro-lifer.
That's good. That's good that you don't give up. And it's true, miracles can happen, and to have that hope. And in the meantime, though, you said there's a lot of losses. She used to walk and travel, and I noticed a feeding tube now.
Yes.
I don't know if that's recent. Maybe you can
That's
just
very
kind of...
recent.
That's
She
recent?
had that in January of this year.
Uh-huh.
And that's a drastic change in her. But it's she gets her nutrition from it. She's changed. She's changed a lot. There's a lot she still needs to get her back on her feet.
Okay. I would like to, as part of this interview, it's called a genogram or an eco-map, and just to see who your support systems are and the major people in your life, and it would let me get a snapshot too of what you need and what you have in place. Like, I know what you have in place is a strong will, that you said you're an advocate and you have hope and you never give up, so you persevere. So so I wonder if we can just do that now at this point.
All right, that's fine.
Okay,
We'll
so I
touch
just
on it.
so the main people who live in the home here, where you are,
Well, I'm here on my own at the moment.
on your own. So
I'm here. This is not my permanent home.
okay,
My permanent home is elsewhere, but I'm here with Anita to see if we can speed up her recovery.
okay,
It's quiet and it's it's winter time, and so it helps in that respect.
okay. So you've come here temporarily.
Temporarily.
Because it's quiet and you felt it would be more conducive to her
Yeah.
healing. And then you have another home you'll be
Yeah,
returning
that's
to.
right. But it has this place has advantages and disadvantages.
Yes.
Because Anita hasn't been able to have a bath since she was released from the hospital due to the layout of the apartment here.
So that you said
So she has personal care,
Uh-huh.
and they sponge her in bed and dress her and take care of her personal needs. But it's not what I'd like to have. I'd like to have her in the bathtub.
You'd like something different
And
for her
something
care.
different, yeah.
Now you said she
It's
hasn't
something
had a
additional.
bath since she was out of the hospital. How
No.
long's that been?
That's January, February. We're going into March.
Okay, so 2 months almost
Yeah.
for the bed
Bath or
bath.
shower, yeah, no.
Okay, and that's
Or her hair done. Her hair is done with a basin.
And that's not your preference?
No. And then I'm having problems with the feeding tube, and I have to wait for the dietitian to, so we can get together and straighten that out.
Okay.
The feeding machine, not the feeding tube, the feeding machine, plus the
There's problems
the
with this.
dispensing of the food. So we have to get together and iron out some of that.
Okay, so one of your support people is a dietitian.
Yes, dietitian, and I have. She has a coordinator from CA. Well, it's called Lynn now,
Okay.
and she's a coordinator for looking after some of her needs.
And her
So
name
if
is?
I have a need, I call her, and then I wait back until it's put into place.
Okay. So
Yeah,
when you
if
said
it
you
is.
wait until things are put in place, it sounds to me
If-
like you have to have a lot of patience.
Well,
That-
you have a lot of waiting. There's a lot,
Lot of
of
waiting.
There's a lot of waiting with everything. When you're in the healthcare, like you call somewhere and you want something, you get a voicemail or you're put on hold. Nothing is smooth moving. You have to have a lot of patience.
Okay.
You eventually get it done, but it's a time consuming. It's nothing rapid.
And how does that affect you?
Well, it doesn't affect me, but it affects the patient because she's not going to get to her needs. Maybe it's times that she needs them. Her needs are met, but if you're put on hold, if you don't get a call back, and the need is important, you just have to sit and wait and do the best you can.
And that's where your advocacy comes in, I
Yes.
would imagine.
Yes.
That you sound like that, you speak up. So you have a coordinator, and you have a dietitian, and could you,
I have a nurse practitioner.
a nurse
She has
practitioner?
and she has her own medical doctor.
Okay. How often
Then
does a
she
nurse
said-
practitioner visit?
Well, I haven't had her that long. I've only had her since since she came home from the feeding.
January?
So she calls, or she's visited 2 or 3 times
Okay.
since that time.
And her medical doctor you mentioned?
I guess she has medical doctor.
Is she visit,
She
do home
doesn't
visits?
visit, but when I call her, and leave a message, I get a call back. It's not instantaneously either,
No.
but I get a call back.
And what
And
other
now,
supports?
well, the
Like
other
you said,
thing-
she gets a
well,
bed bath.
Well, now
and-
what I'm concerned with,
Uh-huh.
is she has dental problems, and I have a dental hygienist who has put a need on hold until she gets a lot of information on her. In the meantime, her teeth need to be attended to.
Okay, you said
So-
she has a hygienist. What about a dentist?
She has a dentist in Toronto, but not locally.
Not locally.
No.
And is it not possible to get a dentist in Sault Ste. Marie?
I've tried. She did have one, and he's deceased now. She had a
Okay.
great one when she was younger.
Mm-hmm.
A great one. She had Dr. Kavanaugh. He's deceased, and since that time, and she hasn't really had anyone. She had one that did some work on her, but he works with children, and he won't take her again.
He won't take her.
No. And the one that removed her wisdom teeth, he won't work with her either.
So that's
And he does- Dr.
something that we need,
Yeah,
where
I
we
need-
can
I need a
help.
dental-
She needs dental
She
work.
needs a dentist here locally.
Or-
I have to try. I've been traveling 600 miles. I've been traveling to Toronto for a number of years to get her teeth done, looked after. And he's a wonderful dentist, but it's difficult for the travel. It's
And I imagine
difficult
more so now.
because she has
Yeah.
she has a tubing.
Have you ever traveled with a feeding tube?
No,
So this would be the first time. So things have to be in place. And is that an area where you could use more support from us?
well, I could use support, a lot more support in a lot of ways.
Okay, but that's one.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay,
Oh,
and what other
definitely one.
ways?
Well, that one is for Anita and her dental work. Now we're doing this for Anita.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because
But when we support Anita, I imagine it would help you too, because I would imagine as a caregiver, this is a huge responsibility.
well,
Like you're here alone now with
that's
her,
right.
and
That's right.
if the machine clogs, I don't know if you
Well-
know what to do. You said there's been trouble with the pump.
Yeah. Well, I do. I call and I
You call.
wait for someone to respond, and sometimes they respond and sometimes they don't respond.
Yeah.
So I've been left a few times with her with having to scramble and look for outside help. I have, that's the truth.
I think that would be hard on you.
Well, it is, because you have a crisis and you have no one to look after it.
Yeah.
So what do? You call around until you find an answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, Anita bounces back. She's a strong girl.
Okay.
And she's been through a lot. She's had a lot to happen
Could you
to
tell
her.
me a bit about her when we were talking about that? Her age and maybe a bit of her health history?
Well, Anita, she's 51. She's a Down syndrome. More
Okay.
Down syndrome, but that didn't affect her in her early life. She was active in everything. Grew up and attended primary school and secondary school and in a workshop, and very. She did everything that anyone else would do, that you would consider without a handicap. So.
She had
I don't know what you want.
She had a full and
life.
active
She had
life.
a full and active life.
But how about now? So she had a full and active life. She went to a workshop, and now does she go
And
out
she
at
loved
all?
music, and
She loved music?
and
Does she
liked to
still love
dance.
music?
Yeah, she still loves music.
She loves music, so that's a real positive
music,
to
yeah.
play for her. And she loved to dance. Is she able to bear any weight?
you know what? Now she's in bed. I could use more help.
She's in
Anita
bed.
could use more help in getting up and getting her exercises done. There's a lack of. Well, there's not. It hasn't been put in place yet. She needs exercise. She needs to be put up in a wheelchair. She needs to be taken out and motivated and stimulated. And this is lacking at this time.
Okay. So there's really things we need to add on to
there's a lot of
enhance her
things.
quality
That's
of
right.
life,
Yes.
to make it more meaningful.
Well, yes. You know what you think. You put yourself in her place. You lay in bed. You're in bed all day long until somebody comes to move you. And so, you know, what does that do to you? You're going to lose more mobility. You're going to lose everything.
Yes.
You need to move.
Yes.
You need to have that interaction with people. You need workers that come in that'll talk to her, not just sit and look at their computers or their iPhones, but you need people that are going to stimulate her.
It sounds like some of the workers that come in are disinterested. You said
Well,
they're
I
looking
don't
at
know,
her
but-
at their iPhone and not
Maybe they're
attending.
not the right fit.
Okay. But that's kind of going on
Well, sometimes, yes.
sometimes. Okay, so that's an area where that could really help. I see
Right.
two right now. Like the dentist is a
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah, that's
Dental's
right.
very important in health. And getting her more meaning in her life. It sounds
right.
like she loves music and dance,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even just to go to a
That's
community function.
Of course, and you know what? She doesn't talk, and she doesn't move that much unless you help her, but she understands. She understands when you're talking to her. And
Anita,
you're mommy's little girl, aren't you?
would you like to go to a theater
Would you like to? Yes,
and listen
you'd
to
like
some,
I'd
a
like to-
beautiful production?
I know you'd like to get out of this bed more often. I know it.
And you would like that for her too.
Of course.
You know the importance
Yeah.
of mobility.
Yes, of course. So, yeah. So,
Now, I was just showing that because is there any other people that are support for her life? Any brothers and sisters who are involved? Or does she have a friend that visits her?
no, I have private workers
Private workers?
that help, and her family, they're supportive and not in visits, but in other ways. I have one that supported her a lot of years, very, very close to her, and I have others that periodically, if there's a hospital visit, they'll go. If there's a hospital attendant, visit her. But there's no regular commitment to her. They're there. Some help financially, and others in other ways. But it's, you know, they all have their own private lives. And one is way out of town. she can't.
Okay.
No.
So a lot of the care falls on you. The family member will come
Yeah.
periodically. They'll
Yeah.
help you financially, but you're doing 90%. It
That's
sounds
right.
like with private hire.
That's right.
And do you have enough private hire right now?
No, not right now.
Not right now.
Private hire, I don't have enough of. I've expended all my income for her health, for her support, and I've been, since November, I've been putting out of pocket. I hired people to pay myself, pays because she needs the help.
Okay.
She is my daughter, and I'm
So,
not going to let her suffer.
Financially,
Financially, I
the care hasn't been there since November.
not the monetary.
Not the monetary.
Monetary, no.
Not sufficient.
Nothing, no.
Nothing.
No, it's been expended. I had it, but it was expended because her care was.
It's so involved. You
Yeah,
ran
it's
out
so
of the
involved.
financing
That's right.
that was
That's
allowed.
right. And that's the second year.
So that might be something we can look at also, to
Well,
see
we
what
can look at it,
services
but I
are
don't know
there.
what's going to happen.
Well,
You can look at it.
I know, I'm sure you've lived this a long time, and I know there's cutbacks and things, but
Well, that's right.
it would be somewhere worth investigating instead of
Yeah.
so much falling on you. And especially, it sounds like her health has become more involved.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how has that affected your own
She
health?
has, like, you know what? I have to say, she does get 4 visits a day.
4 visits?
Yeah, she gets 4 visits
From whom?
from the caretakers. So it's, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets nursing care as well.
And nursing care?
Yeah.
So 4 visits from caretakers. Is it 4 visits also from
Yeah,
nurses?
4 visits from nurses because she has to be catheterized.
Catheterized.
Yeah.
So you have some really good supports in
Yes, I do.
place.
Yeah.
And you
yes.
just need more.
Yes.
And you've done this your whole life.
Yes. Well, she's been self-sufficient
Yes.
for a number of years.
Yeah.
This is latter life.
So how many years
Well,
have you
I
been
don't know.
heavily involved in her care?
Well, I've been involved in her care all my life.
But you said she was self-sufficient. I'm just
Well,
trying
I
to
mean, you
understand.
still have to care for her.
Yes.
She went to walk to work and sometimes buzzed. You
Yeah.
still have to care for a child,
Yeah.
whether she's self-sufficient or not.
Yes.
But I'm saying that her health deteriorated. When her health deteriorated, then I needed care. I needed help.
I guess
And-
why I
and
was
the more
asking that.
deterioration that happens,
Yeah.
the more help you need.
I guess I was asking that because I'm concerned. At one time, she went to a workshop in a school and was more functional, and I'm just concerned with your own health, like having all these responsibilities, how it affects you, what kind of, if you have any health issues or
Well, I have health issues, but I put them on the back burner.
back burner, and that's
So-
one of my concerns. That
That's fine. But, I will get back to getting on track.
to your own health,
Yeah,
yeah,
I will. I plan to.
you plan to.
I plan to do that. So, I have an awakening.
You have an awakening.
Yeah.
Could you tell me about that
Well, I
awakening?
mean, awakening that if I don't keep care of myself, I'm not going to be here around to look after her, to look after Anita. And she needs me. Anita?
I'm sure she does need you, and I think a lot of other
She
people.
needs others as well.
Yeah.
It's just like talking to my friend today. She's in with she was isolated. Now she has friends in a home, and she's happy.
Good. You still have a friend that you're talking to today.
Yes, I was. Yeah, she was living alone, didn't have any help.
Mhm.
And now she's in a place where she has a lot of help, and her voice sounded better.
And I'm wondering, you have that friend. I'm wondering if you have other friends that visit you.
Well, a lot of my friends are deceased. I do have some. I have some friends, but I'm out of circulation.
You're out of
Yeah,
circulation.
I don't go to many places except my church service. Go to that.
Okay. And how often, do you go to a church service?
Well, I go to it as often as I can. It's usually once a week.
Once a week. So actually, you had a lot of friends. Some passed
Well, I
on.
worked. You
worked.
know what? You work when you work. You have a lot of friends, and then you're active and you're around. But my life has changed.
It's changed.
A lot of my friends are deceased. A lot of them have moved away. I keep in touch with some that I've had for lifelong friends. They write. We have correspondence, or phone calls, and but other activities I've let go. I just let go. I don't have the time for one thing. So you have to answer that. Well, somebody's downstairs.
Okay. Is that
3 o'clock.
one of your
Is it 3
health
o'clock?
workers?
Yeah, they can't come in.
Okay.
We'll have to let them in.
Okay. So I really appreciate your letting me take this time to interview you and to provide details and to meet Anita. I think that there'd be really ways we can help, and I think we only touched upon it. And I think it sounds to me that you're very insightful, but you also have an awakening that you have to take care of yourself.
That's right.
I'd like to explore that more. It's one of your
Yeah,
caregivers.
could you just
So
stop?
we can wrap this up, and I'll continue some other
You'll
time.
have to get her in because